Hello, friends and colleagues across the world. Pablo Costa DDS here. I would love to wish you guys all a happy new year on behalf of myself and Global Summits, Dr. Kiano Shah, and wish you all the best and from the whole team essentially, from the board of regents, the board members, the chairpersons, and of course the audience that's out there, as well as the ambassadors of Global Summits. We had a very difficult year last year, but also at the same time very exciting in terms of our profession and uniting the D2D, doctor to doctor project, and essentially unleashing its abilities to share knowledge across the world freely. And we had a chance to really learn so many things on so many different topics from so many great speakers. And this year it's going to be even more exciting because we're going to expand into different areas of medicine, healthcare, pharmacy, essentially all of medicine, and do the same thing that we did last year for dentists. Okay, so it's going to be very exciting. We also have some very, very exciting things that Dr. Emily Letran, that I will introduce momentarily, will share with all of us today. We have some new things going on, and she'll be discussing them. So one of our new projects is called Doctor of Healthcare Business, and that's launched, and it's very, very exciting. Trust me, and Emily will tell us more about that. So I hope all of you are well. I hope all of you are excited. I took off my beard, as you guys all know, and I got my favorite shirts, and this are people too. So I'm very happy today, and let's bring Dr. Emily on the screen and say hi. Good morning,
Hello.
Dr. Emily. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Hello, Dr. Krastev, and hello to all of our friends across the world. We would say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the entire world. Happy New Year. I hope everybody's off to a terrific start. I know it's only been a couple of days, but it's all about the intention. You said it and you make it good, and it's going to be good.
Wonderful, wonderful to have you. So I'm totally, completely excited about what you're going to be telling us today. And essentially, we're going to be starting the year today, if you think about it. And I'm really honored that I have the pleasure to start off the year, as we say in the global summits, and to host you today. So you're a very accomplished clinician and a wonderful mom. Actually, I say the best mom that I know in the world. And let me read your bio to everyone, and then they'll get to know you a little bit. Give me a second, guys, while I open it. Get my shades on here. All right, Dr. Emily Letran. Dr. Emily Letran is a serial entrepreneur, CEO of multiple dental practices, and private coach to many professionals. As an international speaker on several continents, she has been on TEDx and shared stages with countless business leaders, including Sharon Lechter, co-author Rich Dad Poor Dad, Dr. Howard Farran, Dental Town, and Linda Miles, the ultimate mentor of dentistry. She has been featured on Dental Town, Global Woman, CBeyond magazine, and Asian Voices of TVK24. She is a contributing writer for Dental IQ and Dentistry Today. That's very impressive. Dr. Letran is the founder of Exceptional Leveraging, a coaching and consulting firm, Action to Win seminars, an Amazon bestseller of several books. She leverages her training in marketing and the experience owning multiple dental practices for more than 23 years to help dental professionals maximize their potential, streamline business, and increase profits while maintaining a happy personal and family life. Dr. Letran also founded the nonprofit, the Emily Letran Foundation, that gives back to the community through free dentistry days for veterans and families of disadvantaged background. She never forgets her own challenge, coming to the U.S. as a refugee from Vietnam. Both people, at the age of 13 without parents, learning to overcome the language, cultural, and financial barriers, and finishing her DDS and Master of Science at UCLA Dental School in the same 4 years. Dr. Letran believes in giving back to the community is a big part of creating our own legacy, and it's our responsibility to nurture a compassionate and collaborative world. And you can find her at dremilyletran.com. All right, guys, that's very impressive. My God, I know that you do a lot because you're always so busy running around, and I'm sure once you start your presentation, you'll share some things that you like with us. So I'm very excited, and once again, welcome, and let's go on and see what you want to share with us today. Welcome once again.
Well, thank you so much. It is absolutely my honor to be here to share, and I think it is also our duty um, to share our knowledge because, as you know, all of our professionals, we are students, and 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 then it's our duty to share as a teachers. We always teaching, right? We're teaching our staff, we're guiding our staff, we're teaching our patients, and so it just makes sense that we share our knowledge with each other. So, without further ado, I like to jump in. I want to share this short presentation. Is called New Year, New You. It's going to remind you of a couple of things to reflect on to start a new year. And then it's going to give you a little couple of insights on how you can grow your business just based on what you already have. So welcome everyone to this presentation, the first part in our of the Global Summit, and it's called New Year, New You. My name is Dr. Emily Letran. I am a practicing dentist and a certified high performance coach. I'm an international speaker, marketing strategist, business consultant, author. I host a series of seminars called Action to Win that help business professionals and healthcare professionals grow their business, increase profits, and stay sane. I'm also a philanthropist, and I am a self acclaimed best mom in the world. I would like to say thank you to the Global Summit Institute, and especially thank you to Dr. Keanu Shah for trusting me and inviting me on this platform. And I have been enjoying it and feel very honored to be part of it ever since I became part of it. My Happy New Year gift to everybody is a productivity blueprint that's going to share resources, it's going to share some strategies on how to stay productive. You can text the word new, NEW, to 626-298-7587, and I will send that to you. If you are international, you can email me at emily@exceptionalleverage.com, or you can just find me on Facebook and message me. So, just a little bit background about me. I was actually born in Vietnam back in the late 60s, and that was right during the Vietnam War. Growing up, every night I would watch horrific images of the war on TV. There would be bombings, there would be dead bodies, there would be people fleeing villages, and just a lot of propaganda. In 1975, the Vietnam War ended, the Americans left, and the communists took over. And that began a very long, dark series of days. We would stand in line to buy whatever the government was willing to sell to us. It could be moldy noodles, it could be stale bread, it could be old rice. And as a kid, I used to stand in one of those lines with a little booklet, and I was able to buy whatever they were willing to sell to me, just based on how, the ration, how many people you have in your family, and this is how much you could buy. Several years after the communists took over, Vietnam was going to go to war again with China in the north and Cambodia in the west, and they were drafting all the young men to go to war. At this point, my aunt, my dad's youngest sister, decided to leave. She was going to escape. She was going to take her two young kids, my older brother, and a couple of my cousins, male cousins, to escape the draft. Now, I'm a girl. I wasn't going to be drafted, but my dad told me, "You're the oldest girl in the family, so you need to go help your aunt." So I left the country. I left my dad and my two younger siblings. My mom had passed away a couple of years before that. So I left this little family that I love, and I never saw them again. I was 13 years old. So if you know anything about the exodus of the Vietnamese back starting from the late 70s all the way to the early 90s, we were the boat people. We would escape from Vietnam. We would be at sea for several days and sometime up to a month. Sometime got stopped by pirates, got robbed by pirates, got killed by pirates, or sometimes people just lose their life. They lost their lives at sea. So I was one of these boat, look similar to this one with 60 people crammed together like sardines. And we were on the ocean for 7 days. The first 2 days with food, and the last 5 days just with sips of water. We ended up in a refugee camp in Malaysia. It was called Pulau Bidong. If you Google it, you can still find it now. And we live in makeshift shelter with limited food, water, and electricity. Every day, the electricity get turned on sometime in the afternoon and get turned off at around 9 p.m. And every day, you stand in line to get a bucket of fresh water because the refugee camp was in the middle um, of the ocean. It was on an island, and that's what you live on. And a little package of some rice, dry noodles, a little bit of canned food, and some dry fish. So I was living in the refugee camp for a couple months, trying to learn some English. And when I came to the United States, really my luggage were hope and faith. And I knew I was starting from the bottom. Every night I would stay up really late to translate almost every single thing being taught at school from English to Vietnamese so I could understand what was being taught to me. The big blue book that you see in the middle of the screen, that was my friend every single night. I would bring the yellow handbook dictionary, put it in my backpack, and sometimes occasionally I would open it up and look under the table if there's something really urgent that I want to understand what the teacher was teaching me. I would drive an old car. I still remember the first car that my aunt gave me, a Nissan Sentra 1984, and drove it everywhere to school from home to UCLA. At one time, it actually died on the road, on the freeway. And luckily, I was on the left hand side, and there was no cell phone back then. And I remember distinctly standing by that divider, jumping up and down, trying to get somebody to pay attention to me so they can help tow my car back to a shop close to school. And even when I got the car towed to that shop, I knew very well that I didn't have any money to get that car out because it's going to be another 2 weeks before my grant checks and my scholarship check came in. And I remember walking around the classroom asking people to help lend me some money so I could pay and get my car out. And because of all of that, I was very driven. I actually finished my undergrad in 3 years, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. And then when I went to UCLA, I finished a DDS degree and a master in oral biology, all in the same 4 years. I'm very proud of this picture. It's actually my graduation picture, walking out of Royce Hall. Uh, you can see beaming with pride. I looked pretty good back then, huh? I don't know what happened now. So after I graduate, I got married, have three beautiful children. I bought my first dental practice, my second dental practice, my third dental practice, and I've gone through challenges. I learned how to take care of my family. I learned how to take care of the offices. Obviously, I cannot be in all three places at the same time. And so I've learned strategies and ways to leverage myself, to leverage my time, how to manage the office, how to stay sane. So when I'm done with the 8 hours day at the office, when I go home, I can still be present for my family because I don't want to go home and just bring whatever leftover energy home to my family. And I'm very proud about what I've done. There were a lot of challenges along the way. Obviously, there are always failures, as you all know. That's part of life. But I know that I have come up with systems. I have come up with ways, the mentality, the planning, the intentions, where I know I can accomplish a lot and still be there and live a fulfilled life with my family. Now, sometimes people ask me, well, what, you have a lot of time, you do a lot of things. I don't have a lot of time. I have the same 24 hours just as everybody else. But I think I am blessed to learn from mentors, coaches, and systems where I know how to use my time wisely. And I want to share some of those strategies here today so you can start your new year with the new you. And I know that there are times in our lives that we realize that we have to change. There's a turning point. We know that we keep doing the same thing, we're going to get the same result. And there's nothing as real as this pandemic hitting all of us last March across the globe. When all of a sudden you have to stay home and you can't go to work, we start questioning what's most important to us, what should we be striving for, um, and how much do we need to actually be physically doing in order to run our business. What I mean by that is when you are forced to see one patient at a time, how do you make that work when you usually see multiple patients? In my case, that's how my practice was set up. And you quickly realize that there are alternative ways to be successful, still be able to do what you love, and actually win back more time with your family. I believe that success cannot be achieved or sustained without training in high performance. And I think the secret to accelerate your business growth, your high performance habits, you need to leverage your assets. You want to collaborate with other people, like minded people, smart people. Um, you want to collaborate with experts. You want to learn from the experts, the people who know more than you, and they may not be in the same industry, but they know about marketing, they may know about business, they may know about intellectual property, and they're going to teach you how to apply that to your own business. Marketing is something that we pretty much never been taught in school, and that's something that I have devoted a lot of time learning. So I know it's a process. It's not something where you just hear it once and you go back and you do it and it works, because as everybody know, marketing is a little bit of trial and testing, um, and then tracking your number is very, very important, because if you don't know where you're at, it's going to be very hard to decide where you want to go. And so in this short time, what I want to do is share some of the first two things, which are the high performance habits and to leverage your assets. The high performance is a result of heightened and sustained level of clarity, energy, courage, necessity, influence, and productivity. Clarity is knowing who you are. What are your values? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? It's knowing what you want. What do you want for your business? What do you want for your life? Sometimes when I'm coaching a client and I'm talking to them and they say, I want a $1 million practice. And I would ask them, well, how come it's not 2 million? How come it's not 5 million? And they don't have an answer for that, right? Because sometimes they want that $1 million practice because that's what everybody's talking about. But there was no specific reason why they want that particular level of income, or let's just say gross income. Um, if you don't know why you want certain things, the first time you hit a bump, the first time you face a challenge and a hurdle, you are more likely to give up. You are more likely to get derailed because it's not that strong in you. And then clarity also means to know how to get what you want. Do you have a plan on how to do that? If you're going to do the same thing every year, and you want to go to $1 million, that's not going to happen. If you're at 500,000 and you want to go to $1 million, you may need an entirely new staff. You may need to bring in specialists, and that just totally change the picture of your practice, how you run your practice, what you do in your practice. Steve Jobs say your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. And I think this should really be emphasized for a lot of us. Um, some of our colleagues, when they share with me, they say, oh, I become a professional medicine doctor, dentist, whatever it is. I become that because that's what my parents want. Great. So now you achieve it. But how you go on to live a fulfilled life and to stay happy, and the key word here is happy, it really has to do with you living your own life and making your own decision and fulfilling your passion. So I want you to just pause and think, when was the last time you put yourself first? 2020 has just gone by, but even before 2020, when was the last time you put yourself first? When was the last time that you just say, you know what, I need a break, I'm going to take a couple of days off? When was the last time you decided to take, let's say, a spontaneous vacation, surprise your spouse, surprise your kids, and go and have a lot of fun? When was the last time you say, you know what, this is a procedure that I want to learn, this is a concept that I need to devote my time studying, and I'm going to spend money on me to learn that, versus investing in a piece of equipment? And the clarity is not just for you, the clarity is also for your team. Do your team actually know what you want? Do they actually know what you expect? Do they actually know your goals? Do they actually know their goals and how to achieve their goals? I talk to in seminars, sometimes the team is, yes, doctor wants X dollars a month, which means X dollars a day. Well, how do we do that? We don't know. The doctor never explained. The doctor never shared. And it's very common with a lot of us. We have the ideas in our head and we forget to fully communicate that to the people around us. So that's your team. Sometimes when you're home, you don't communicate, you don't share with your spouse. So they don't know what you're after. They don't know why you're frustrated, right? Communication. In your office, going to be your team meeting. At home, it's going to be a moment with your spouse. Talk about your dreams. Talk about what you want to do. There's certain things that stress us out, and I list some of them here. You know, there's a lack of clarity. I've just explained that. There's a lack of leadership. If you don't know how to motivate and influence people to do what you want, you're going to get stressed out. If you ask your staff for the 10th time, right, you need to enter X into the chart, or you need to make sure that Mrs. Jones pre-medicate herself, and they don't do it, it may not be the staff, it may be you. How you communicate, how you hold them accountable, and what are the consequences if they don't do it. There's also poor management of expectations. If you don't communicate well to your patients, excuse me, what to expect on a treatment, and let's say it didn't come out as ideal, and then they get upset at you, now you get stressed. But if you have explained all the treatment options and you told them that whatever they want to do is not the best, is not the most ideal, and you have that in writing and you have them initial it, when they come back and they complain, it's very easy. You just refer to that particular document and say, we talk about this, and you sign off on it, so that's where we are now. This is the next step. But you don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to feel bad. And certainly you don't have to feel that, you know what, maybe I didn't do the right thing. A lack of energy will also stress you out. Imagine going into a day fully booked and you don't feel well. You don't feel up to it. And then a lack of support. And I love the fact that we have the Global Summit. I love the fact that we have the combination of different segments of medicine, that we could be chatting to each other, we could be asking each other for ideas with respect, with in a giving mentality, because when you don't have the support. Now remember, when you're a business owner, it's going to be hard to go and ask your staff or your office manager for the support. Well, she's supposed to listen to you. It's going to be, sometimes it's hard to share with your spouse, because you're going to worry your spouse. Ask me how I know, right? So that lack of support is very important and can cause stress. So I want you to just think, what is one area in your business that you need to focus on right now to increase your return on investment? Just one. You don't need to think about 5 things. It's just the beginning of the year. But if I ask you, what is one area in your business do you need to focus on right now to increase your ROI? Do you know that? And if that's the one area, what are 2 steps that you can do to achieve that right now? And again, some of these is going to come right to you if you were planning the year, if you know how you did last year, if you know how to improve this coming year, this year. So these are things that you can answer easily if you are very clear in what you want. And if you don't know, ask yourself, do you need some expert? Do you need some peer to help you? Because when you have that clarity, it's going to dictate whether you push your foot all the way to the pedal and just drive, or you let go and touch the brake. It makes a difference in where you focus your energy, how you gain your momentum, how you get to what you want. I mentioned a little bit about energy. When we talk about energy and high performance, it's the mental and the physical energy. Sometimes people just pay attention to the physical and they don't think about the mental. And energy, how do you keep up your energy? Well, first of all, you need to sleep. Every time I do a seminar and I ask people how many people think you need to sleep more, like more than half of the room would raise their hands. When I ask them how many people think that you need to drink more water, almost the whole room would raise their hand. And when I ask how many people think they should exercise more, several more hands would go up. And in a live audience, a lot of time I would ask people to just stand up and exercise with me, do a stretch exercise, walk in one place, close your eyes, rest from the screen time, whether it's your computer or you're staring at the patient's mouth with your 2.5 or 3.5 loop, or maybe just your smartphone that you keep looking at. Have a sense of humor, because laughter, as you know, is a medicine, and laughter will lessen the stress, and laughter will keep you engaged and will make you different from other practitioners. This jar sits in front of my office on the counter. Patient come in and says, Ashley's a problem patient. I actually have people who open that jar to see what's inside. It's empty. I dump it out eventually. but have a laugh. Laugh at yourself. For Halloween, dress up silly and jump. Right? This was my picture last year, and it was funny because it took several tries for my staff to take that picture while I'm in the air. I would say, take the picture, jump, and then she would miss it. So have some fun. This is a very common picture that we always see. You go to the airport and you see this kind of picture. You're always worrying about charging your phone and giving that phone the energy. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you recharged yourself? Productivity. Productivity is very important if you want to be a high performer. And when we're talking about productivity, we're talking about intentions. What are your plans? How are you going to spend your time? Are you going to be sucked in and be destroyed by the weapons of mass distractions? I should add a Clubhouse on here. That's the new one. And all of these things take up your time. And I want you to do this. I want you to write down everything that you do in a day, right? You wake up, you check email, you exercise, you go to the office, you answer calls, you talk to patient, you drill, whatever it is, everything you do in a day. And then I want you to look at which one that you're the only one that could do it, right? Put a check mark next to the one that you're the only one that could do that. And the next thing is, whatever it is in the office during your workday that you're the only one that could do that, does it actually create income? And I've done that exercise many, many, many years ago. And let me tell you, there's no particular task in the office that I actually have to do it myself, because I also have associates. So the associate pretty much replaced me as far as doing the drilling and filling and the clinical part. So I'm not saying to not practice dentistry or medicine. What I'm saying is to look at it when you feel that you're too busy, you're overwhelmed. Look at how you're spending your day. Look at where you're spending your time. Are you doing the task that you absolutely have to do, and does that task bring results and create income? I recommend everybody take a picture of this particular slide that I got it, I think, somewhere online. And it's talk about 5 minutes. And what I want you to do is I want you to think each hour that you work, if you could cut down 5 minutes, could be 5 minutes that you waste. Um, it could be 5 minutes that you're on the phone and you're answering, you know, a sales call, whatever it is. But if you actually could save 5 minutes per hour, it works up to 4 weeks a year. If you do all that math, and that's what all those numbers are. And imagine if you could win back 4 weeks a year, which is a month. What are you going to do with that month if you were being very efficient and save 5 minutes every hour? And I bet you, especially in dentistry, we can always shave 5 minutes in an hour if we think about it. And then make up a list of things not to do. I know everybody have a to-do list. I want you to make up a list of not to do lists, things that you shouldn't do. I give this example all the time when I'm in my seminar. Don't go pick up your friends at the airport. There's Uber for that. Years ago, yes, you may have to go pick up your friends. As a good friend now, maybe I'm just gonna pay an Uber, and an Uber gonna bring my friend to wherever I'm at, because it's gonna save me that round trip. And in Southern California, it could easily be an hour to 2 hours. Um, and it doesn't necessarily mean that I don't like the person, I don't love the person. It's just that the 2 hours make a difference. The 2 hours are important. So those are some of the high performance habits that I want you to think about. Obviously, there's more to that in life, but a couple of ideas to get you thinking. And then I want to talk about your assets. And I think this is basic, but this is something that we need to think about. If you want to make 2021 different, I want you to really think about your assets. As you know, liabilities are whatever costs you money, and assets are what creating money. The first asset that everybody know is their office, right? Let's say you have a dental office, your medical office, optometry office, your office. That's an asset. Why? Because it creates income. The second one that sometimes people think about is the real estate. We are not talking about your house. Everybody have a house. A house is a liability because the house does not create income. The mortgage costs every month. I'm talking about buying the building where you're at. Um, if it's a possibility, definitely consider that. Why? Because then eventually you don't have to pay rent anymore. You finish paying the mortgage and the building is yours. When you figure you're going to retire, you can rent out that building and then you get the income. I can't tell you how many times I have friends who say, yeah, I bought a new house. I did this and this for my house. And then they have the option to buy the building where the office is at, and they don't think about it. Because owning that commercial real estate is an asset. The third thing that I want everybody know about it are the investments, right? And here I'm talking about your 401k, your IRA, your profit sharing, whatever you want, your stocks, your bonds. Think about those assets. I think during the pandemic, there were cycles of people saying, sell this or hold this. All of those will affect your net worth. And depending on your values, what you feel comfortable with, you may hold certain investment, you may sell certain investment. I'm saying to be very intentional about it, because these are the things that are going to prepare you and make you feel more comfortable, less vulnerable the next time a pandemic or an economy turmoil comes on. The fourth asset is intellectual property. Sometimes there are business systems that you work with that could worth money, could create an income if you were to sell it, if you were to share it, if you were to rent it. Intellectual property could also be books, could be videos, it could be courses. So here you see, I have a guide that I write for patients, the ultimate guide to having a beautiful smile. It's a quick, short guide to educate the patient, let the patients know how they can achieve a beautiful smile. And obviously, this it's a small guidebook, so they can actually pass along to other people and share about my office. The book on the right is No Nonsense Dentistry for Dental Peeps, and it is a guide that talk about very practical ways to practice dentistry. We talk about how to deal with the bitching, hygienist, the cranky office manager. I'm exaggerating, by the way. The Mrs. Jones who uh, always forget her appointment, right? All of the usual daily challenges that you may have in running a dental office. I created that book, and then associated with that book, there are courses, there are seminar, there are coaching that go along with it. So these are intellectual property. Global Summit is producing and will be coming out with the top 100 doctor leadership magazine. This is going to be a platform where we can share those strategies, we can share those wins, we can share those experience. You can write as a contributing author, and all of those things will create your intellectual property if you haven't done that yourself. So the organization is giving you the platform, is giving you multiple ways to create your assets. Your patients are definitely a big part of your asset. Your patients can refer to you. Your patients stay with you for a long time. I have a picture of these two lovely ladies. I've moved 3 times. My one of my office, we moved 3 times. We went from one side of a strip mall to the other side of the strip mall because it was bigger, and then eventually we bought a building, and they followed me through the years. Um, Obviously, that's 23, 23, 24 years later. But ask yourself, do you have patients who stay with you for a long time? That's an asset. That is somebody who can be your raving fan. That is somebody who can scribble, and I say scribble because some of them are older. They can even scribble, a testimonial behind the lady on the right hand side. You see a bunch of little frames, and some of them are a little crooked because I hang them so low, kids walk by, they can touch them. But you can kind of see that some of them are handwritten. Yes, they're Google reviews and things like that. But yeah, I like the handwritten one, where people can see that it's real. And it comes from patients that have been around with me for a long time. And then to increase that asset, I do things for my patients. I I do patient appreciation event. Obviously, this was pre-pandemic, and the gentleman that you see in the picture, he's actually a lab technician who's been working with me for more than 20 years. So at the patient appreciation event, I also invited him, and I gave him an iPad. I think this was our 15-year anniversary. So it's an older picture, but doing those events increases the goodwill and get the patients to stay, get the patient to refer, and increase your asset. When you're thinking about your patients and how you run your business, think about the metrics. I don't want you to say, I have a really busy schedule, right? It's full. We booked out until middle of March. Yes, those are great. How many new patients do you have? How many referrals do you have? What is the average dollar value per new patient? If you're in a certain economic area, maybe the average value is $1,000. If you're in another area, maybe the average value is $5,000. It makes a difference in if you want to increase your income, those numbers make a difference. How much does it cost for you to get one of your new patients? Did you use Facebook ads? Did you send out postcards? Did you run a magazine ads? Did you advertise on TV? Did you advertise on radio? All of those are variable costs to acquire a patient. Look at your dollar per hour production. Everybody say yes, that's an overhead, whatever overhead that you know. But what is your own overhead? How much are you paying yourself? Because a lot of time we don't do that. We just take the leftover. But no, if you put a number on how much you want to make per hour, what is that number? And then obviously the percentage of acceptance. When you talk to a patient, do they, yes, they start treatment, or they start half of it, or they go all the way, or they never return? You should know what is the percentage of cases that you actually close. Asset number six is your team, whoever is working with you. These are the people who directly help you achieve what you want. This is a picture of me and part of my team in Vegas. We dress up as minions, as you can see. Remember earlier I said have a sense of humor. If you have your team, they are your asset. They're the ones who are going to help you grow. So invest in them. Take them to training. Go out party with them. I don't mean share your deep dark life secrets with them. Go out to party with them. Know enough about their families so that they know that you care. For Christmas, what I do is I give gifts to their kids, right? I just go to the store and buy the biggest box, the biggest toy box for whatever, for their kids, because I want them to understand that I appreciate them. Your connections. I am not talking about your Facebook friends that you chat with, or maybe you vent, followers, right? I'm talking about true connections. At the Global Summit, our vision is to collaborate and bring together several segments. We got medicine, we got pharmacy, we got dentistry, we got PhDs, philosophy, we got optometry, we have chiropractic. The true connections that are going to make a difference in your business. Not socially, yes, but really, we're talking about business. We have the platform where we recognize the world's top 100 doctors. We started in recognizing in 2020, and myself and Dr. Krastev, we were both recognized in 2020. And then the doctors for 2021. We're recognizing people who are contributing to our industries, whether it's in education, whether it's in research, whether it's in clinical, whether it's in teaching and growing business. We got some of the biggest names as part of this group because we truly want people to understand that we are in a position of authority. And by authority, I mean people trust us, and that we are in a position of teaching, of sharing. And there's nothing more beautiful than collaboration and sharing among professionals. We have programs where we reward the doctors. We leverage the power of the number, where we can negotiate for discounts, for good deals, and for certain things that are only available to doctors. And doctors, like I said, is across the board, the medicine, the dentistry, optometry, etc. And so this is where the connections make a difference. Number eight is your investment. And remember, we would talk about your investment earlier, your stocks and your bonds. Here, I'm talking about the investment in you, right? The investment in you. If you want to grow your business, what can you do for you to grow your business? Global Summit is launching a brand new program called Doctor of Healthcare Business, and it's a three-track program. It got finance, it got business administration, and it got research. And we are going to help our doctors become business experts because everybody knows we don't have a lot of training in that in business. So we're already good clinicians. This program will close that gap between clinical excellence and business expertise. And there are more details coming. I'm very proud to be the dean of this program, and we will share the details. And this is going to be a global program. It's open to everybody across the world. The only requirement is you have to be a doctor to join the program. The Academy of Oral Surgery is another project of the Global Summit, and we provide membership to doctors, the GPs, right? Periodontists or surgeon. Collectively, we providing training we're collaborating, we're doing research. So we would love for you to join this organization also. And because again, you remember I talk about connections. This is where the connections happen, and this is how you grow and advance and leverage your assets. And number nine of your assets are the experts, your experts, the people that you know who are experts who can help you get to the next level. I got this little cartoon. A person on the left hand side got all these ideas, but it's all mixed up and coiled up. And then you talk to a mentor, somebody who is an expert, and they clear it up for you, right? It looks nice and neat. So the expert who help you, sometimes it doesn't mean that they know a whole lot more than you, or maybe not even in your same industry. But what they do is they have a different perspective. And so a lot of time they will see in you more than you can see in yourself. They help you create the confidence. They help you overcome your limiting belief. They help you get to the next level. So those are the nine assets that I want you to ponder about to start the new year. If you want to reach your goals, you must shrink the size of your butt. I'm going to do that, but I don't have time. We just talk about productivity. I want to do that, but I'm too tired. We just talk about energy. I want to do that, but I don't know how. I don't know who to ask. We just talk about the different organizations who can teach you and who can share ideas with you. So you got to shrink that size of your butt. You got to make the commitment to do something different because you want to collaborate and leverage the expertise of your colleagues and other industry leaders. You want to minimize the mistakes so you don't feel sorry for yourself. And one way to minimize the mistakes is to work with a coach or a mentor so they can help you fast track and give you that shortcut path to success. So once again, I would love to give everybody a gift. It's a productivity blueprint. It's going to have certain strategies and also some resources that you can use to increase your productivity for the new year. You can text to 626-298-7587. And you can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. I would love to have a conversation if you have any questions about this presentation, about the Global Summit Institute, about the Doctor of Healthcare Business Program. Actually, for healthcare, Doctor of Healthcare Business Program, you can go to doctorhb.org. And request more information on there. You can go to the AOS website and also request information on there. We would love to have you as part of our program. And ask yourself, are you ready to take your business and your life to the next level? The answer is yes. The time is now, and we love to join each other to make 2021 your best year ever. Thank you so much for following this presentation.
Hi guys, welcome back. Wow, Emily, that was an amazing presentation. And now I know why I'm still poor. Because tell you, it's very important, and I speak from the heart, as you know. It's very like had I met you 25 years ago and listened to only this basic presentation that you did, which I know you give extensive coaching presentations. But man, had I met you, I would have done so many things differently in the sense that I would have had a different train of thought. Exactly the way you structure it, because it makes so much sense. It's logical. It's not a textbook that makes you read something that you cannot apply. You're really delving into everyday questions and realities that most of us, normal, regular people, as I like to call, face. So us as dentists especially, we get very little to no training on thinking about some of the issues that you bring up and how to manage your life and focus on what you like doing or not like doing. One particular thing that I picked up from you at one of your other seminars was you said something very important that I certainly live by. You know, sometimes as dentists, we try to please patients that cannot be pleased, and we blame ourselves. And we have to learn to be able to say, no, we really cannot work with you politely because we simply cannot deliver what your expectations are. and because otherwise all we have is stress. So you taught me that a few months back, probably last year, right after I met you, and I think about it more these days, and it's so very true. So guys out there, we're not gods. We do our best. We can never recreate or give the same quality to something that God created. And as dentists, we can only do our best. So that's all you need to strive to do, guys. When you see that you're running into a situation where you're getting railroaded into thinking a certain way by a patient because you want to please them, you end up having problems, just like Emily said earlier. And she said something very important. Inform your patients, let them make the right decisions, coach them what you recommend. So this way, if they come to you a month later or a year later, and they say, well, doc, I hate this. And you say, well, look, we discussed this treatment option. We explained it to you. And, you chose against our advice. And this way you have a little bit of leg to stand on, because you know what is for some of us, we're a little bit softer at heart inside. And we have a hard time being put in these situations where a patient is questioning our relationship, essentially. And we suffer, I think. Yeah, I do. I certainly come home and sometimes worry about this said, the patient said this, I said this, you said, and we like to minimize that. So after I met Emily, I learned I try to do more of what I like to do now, what I enjoy to do, instead of pushing myself and being all over the place. So as Emily said, we all have the goals. My goals may be different than yours. Another very important topic that I definitely want to touch on. You may want $1 million practice, but you may want a $3 million practice. But how do you get there? Number one. Number two, it's not how much you make; it's how much you keep. And when I say how much you keep in dentistry, we all face an overhead. I would say minimum 50, 60% in the average practice, depending on how big it is. So at the end of the day, if you only think, I want to make $1 million, okay, great. You made $1 million last year, let's say, but your cost of operation is, $1,200,000. Then what's the problem with that? So you may be better off targeting your mind in the beginning to maybe having a smaller, more efficient practice where you might generate less gross income than a particular friend of yours that triples your income but brings home nothing. So these are all factors you have to ask yourselves. It's complicated. In my days of schooling, I certainly didn't have any exposure to the business aspect of dentistry, and now we want to change that, and we have been fighting to change that with our entire team on Global Summits and the AOS, and because this is how we grow. So the other thing, Emily, on a personal level, I heard your story in the beginning. I was deeply touched because I also came to the USA from a communist country, Bulgaria, in 1979. I didn't come on a boat. I came on a plane because there was a little mistake made, and
it's a little far.
Right, but the point is, I totally understand the pains and the challenges that you went to being in a new country without a language. I was fortunate to come with my parents, so for me it wasn't as difficult. But certainly, I appreciate the fact that what you've been through in your life, and I sometimes wish that some of the younger people growing up in our beautiful country do understand a bit more about communism and what type of lifestyle you have. Even though it may sound good on paper, it's really a difficult way to live your life. But that's a whole other conversation. But I just wanted to mention it. And before we turn over to the podium to any questions, my father was a great saying. So he always says, Pablo, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. And he's been telling me that for years. And lastly, I think I made so many mistakes coming out of school. Instead of focusing and doing things the way I should have done them, I did them backwards. I bought cars, I bought expensive cars, then I bought more expensive cars. Focus your life, pay off your school debt as soon as you can so you don't get hit with thousands and gazillion dollars of interest. As Dr. Letran mentioned, grow your business the way you want to grow it because it will give you the happiness that you desire, which may be completely different than my happiness or Dr. Letran's happiness. But make a plan. As I say, plan, and then execute the plan. So I guess you can start with a dream, plan it, and then execute the plan. Do it while you're young. I'm learning so much over the last year that we got cooped up with COVID here. I mean, I tell you, I've attended so many seminars here, partners with some top speakers that really, I mean, you walk away in an hour with so much information that my mind can explode. You know, it's been wonderful. And Global Summits, thank you again for creating this gigantic world global platform that we all love. And we're going to have a fantastic year this year. We have so many good things in the pipeline, and you know, it's hard to keep up with all of them. But anyway, God bless you all, love you all, and turn over the podium for any questions. And mwah.
Well, I just want to add something. I'm looking at the on the side here, and I don't see any specific questions. If you see any, you can ask. But one thing I want to remind everybody, and it's a basic. You know, we always say basic, but doesn't mean that it's easy to do, and that is the 80-20 rule. 20% of your patients give you 80% of your income. 20% of your friends are going to be the one that give you 80% of that result. So your patients, you know, if you think about it, the ones I think, like for me, I can I tell my staff, if I remember the patient's names, right, 24 years going, that patient either pay me a lot of money, so they in that 20%, or they're a pain in the butt, right? And hopefully, if they're a pain in the butt, we already got rid of them, right? But my point is, know who are your most important customers, right? It just like when you go, we have this talk, go open your business account in a small bank. They're gonna know you're the dentist, right? You're the one that is a professional in town, rather than you go to one of those big corporate banks that nobody knows you. Your patients, when they come in, know the ones that have been investing in your business, know the one that I took a picture and I just couldn't find it to to put it in the presentation last night. It's a picture of grandpa, mom, and kid. It's a three generation that have come to my office, and they are part of the 20%. And a lot of time we spend time trying to cater to the whining one, the picky one, the difficult one. And if you look at it, and I just look at numbers because it just helped me make an unemotional, decision, right? If you look at it and they're not the one who've been paying you a lot of money, we're just going to use that as a metric, then uh, should we let them reschedule for the third time, right? Should we let them dictate the treatment? For me, when I have a conversation with the patient, I don't need a big informed consent. You decline this, you decline this. I explain it and I tell the patient, handwritten, I choose to do X, although Dr. Letran has recommended to do something else. And I tell the patient, just initial, just sign right here. And I tell them this is so that we remember we have this conversation. Because sometimes when you make it into a real big deal, I already told you this. If you don't do this, et cetera, then the patient, they get confused, right? They get uncomfortable. So treat them like family. Remember, they're an asset. They're very, very, very important asset there. More important than your laser or whatever thing that you buy, the toys in the office that cost 70,000, 100,000. I trade that for a couple of new patients any day, because like I said, the one patient, what is the value of that one patient, how many referrals that one patient will refer, how long that patient stay. Remember, those are the ones that give you the lifestyle that you have and the income that you have. And not just you, your family, your kids. That's how you pay for your kids' education. It's focus on the right thing, right? Focus on the right asset.
Those some great points. Words of wisdom. It's funny because when you mentioned about sometimes what patients, the way they approach us, or what they want from us. I mean, I have so many stories. I I had a 90-year-old lady, yell at me that you cannot do a root canal in one visit, that you have to do it in 8 visits, because that's how her dentist used to do it. And so I have so many stories. Believe it or not, I'll tell you the truth, and something very comical, I believe. That the other platform that we operate under, the Global Summits mothership, is called Doctors Comedy. All right, so I had a meeting with board members, and I said, guys, we all have so many stories in dentistry. Why don't we start a comedy channel called Doctor's Comedy? It took us a name to come up with the name, but we decided on Doctor's Comedy. And we want to hear funny stories, of course, with all respect, without mentioning names and respecting patients' privacy. We're not going to go there and make fun of people. That's not what we do. But in the same token, as a learning experience, if we
Yes,
share some of the
absolutely.
stories we've experienced, we don't want to do it to make fun of people. We want to do it to learn, because you have to know, in one point or other in your careers, you guys will experience all kinds of scenarios that you never thought were possible. I mean, I've heard stories, and I can tell you that's the whole idea of why I wanted to do this Doctor's Comedy, so it can be funny yet educational, in the sense of what you guys might pick up from us and what we've been through, and we all got stories. I mean, all right,
Yes.
so
Yes.
fantastic.
Just one
Once again,
one
thank
quick
you.
one quick thing. There's Dr. Nagy Hannah posed a question. How do you
Yeah.
decide or choose the metrics? And I think if you have a chance to watch the Partinar again, there is a slide on there that I have 5 or 6 metrics that I would recommend you look at. Number of new patients, number of referrals, the dollar value per new patient, percentage of treatment plan you close, um, how long a patient remain in your practice. There is a slide in there, and if you have more questions, you can always reach out and message uh, with me. So I am truly honored and thankful, Dr. Kresta, for hosting the Partinar. It's a one of these days we're going to meet, right?
I hope so.
And I wish everybody a very, very happy new year. Let's start fresh, start with a new mindset, look at some metrics, tweak it, improve on it. It doesn't have to be rocket science, really. It is just running business, and look into our Doctor of Healthcare Business program. Go to drhb.org, and we would love to have you as part of the program. So thank you very much and Happy New Year.
Once again, thank you. It was an honor to host you, Dr. Letran, and I wish you guys much happiness and health in the new year coming up. Let's have a great year together with Global Summits. Dr. Shah, a shout out to him. The never rest, the guy. I mean, what a great guy. I just had a pleasure to visit him, and we had a great time in California. And thank you, Dr. Shah, for hosting us there while we were there. And God bless you guys. Love you all. Bye bye.